The bold step, and that's kind of our theme for this year in season 5 of Known Legacy, is being bold. And what does it look like to be bold? So I would love to know, what was your journey? Obviously, you were very comfortable. You had the job, if you could, at Baker, and you were comfortable. I'm sure you were successful. Things were going well. What in the world would possess you to lay all of that down and pick up this unknown, this uncertain, I'm going to go out and do book camp? And talk me through that process, and how did you and your wife come to understand and be on the same page with that? Just kind of talk us through that bold step that you took.
Yeah. Well, it's something I love talking about because I know there are a lot of people who have these inclinations, these intuitions, these ambitions, these callings to go out on their own and do something, which might appear to be kind of crazy to everybody else.
It does.
And I was definitely there.
Yes.
I mean, absolutely, things were going well at Baker. We were enjoying, record-breaking years. One of the things I'm most proud of professionally is I left Baker well. I still have very good, fond feelings for everybody there. They threw a party for me, even though I was leaving the company. It was just a great send-off. And I stay in touch with those people, love them to death. But I just knew I had this calling that I wanted to go try something. And yes, I had many conversations with my wife. She's much more risk averse than I am, and so
that's typically how it works.
To get to the brass tacks, we started building a fund, sort of a cushion fund for the transition. And we figured out what we needed. We wanted to have a year's worth of expenses in the bank before we made this transition.
Wow.
And we had a number in mind. And when we got to that number, I was like, so can I do it? And she's like, well, what about health insurance? We got to figure out. So I was like, okay, I'll figure out health insurance. And so I did. I figured it out. And I was like, now can I? And she's like, I guess so.
That's incredible.
So that's all I needed. And it's been great. It's been 4.5 years. I'm still growing it, still learning stuff. It is a challenge for sure, but there's nothing else I'd rather be doing. It really is a joy. So that's it in a nutshell.
I mean, it's amazing because, that's like being willing to be that. But I guess the question is, how did you know that it was a calling? Because that's a